Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with some more schedule predicting with the bitter rivals pitted against each other as we go game for game for game. This time, it is Washington, Oregon in their first campaign through the Big Ten. How do they fare in this new uncharted territory for the two Northwest schools? Well, let's find out together, boys and girls. As you may have seen from my Ohio State versus Michigan video, we already got a couple wins already on the board for Washington and Oregon. So let's get some more on there, shall we? Weber State. I didn't know Weber was a state, but here we are. Back over to Oregon. Idaho, who is a D2 school. Oh, Boise. Oh, Boise. I believe last time Oregon and Boise squared off against one another, LeGarrette Blount got thrown, pretty much kicked off the team, if not suspended the rest of the year, and then fell into obscurity until he came back as a Patriot. He came in as a New England Patriot and ran 37 touchdowns in a game against Indianapolis. But anyway, I digress. I think Oregon wins this one. It would be interesting to see Boise pull off an upset, but I don't see it. I do not see it. It's Eastern Michigan. Need I say more? Now, Washington State. This game, this may be one of the most intense Apple Cups you have ever seen. Washington State is pissed about the Huskies leaving them. And this could be the final meaningful game between Washington and Washington State before Washington State is just the Huskies. That being said, Jed Fish with Will Rogers, match made in heaven. I'm taking the Huskies to win this one. And then I believe Oregon is on a bye week in week 4. Oh, we got the Civil War. Hold on, I got ahead of myself. Oh, excuse me. Oregon State's absolutely decimated. No coach, no quarterback. Everything that they had last year is gone. The Ducks take care of business. And then they're on the bye week. So swap on back and head north for Washington, Iowa. Oh, wow. Holy cow. Where am I going? Okay, Washington, Northwestern. Washington wins. Northwestern is still trying to figure themselves out. They're, like I said in the Ohio State Michigan video, Northwestern is that team that gets so close to the hump and then gets knocked down. Give me the Huskies. That's about it. Flip back over. Oregon, UCLA in the Rose Bowl. Give me Oregon. UCLA is an absolute mess. No Chip Kelly. No fear. Now back over to Washington. Now this is going to be the most interesting one. This is where Washington could slip up. You have to go across the country from Washington to New Jersey on one less day on Friday night. There's your upset. Rutgers beats Washington on Friday night. Give me the Scarlet Knights in the upset. And then Washington comes back and knocks Michigan out of anger. Probably. But anyway. So back over. We have Oregon and Purdue. Oregon doesn't have to travel quite as far or deal with a coach that's as good as Greg Schiano. So even though it's on Friday. Wow. Holy cow. Okay. Either way, Oregon wins those games. Jeez, oh, jeez. Oregon beats Michigan State. It's going to be close, but I think Oregon wins. And then, as we've already seen in the Ohio State Michigan one, I got Oregon being the lone loss for Ohio State. It is in Eugene, a tough place to play. With Gabriel, Lanning, solid defense. Give me the Ducks. And then, as I said, they beat Purdue on the road. I'm not concerned about Purdue upset. Anyway, back over to Washington. Washington coming off a hard-fought victory over Michigan in Kinnick. Ooh, goodness gracious. Kinnick's a tough place to play. It's a tough place to play. It's probably the toughest to play in college football. And you're coming off Michigan, where you may win the war, but you're going to lose a few battles. Give me Iowa with an upset once again. Now back over to Oregon for week 9. It's against Illinois. As much as I love Brett Bielema, Oregon is going to be too much, especially in Eugene. Tough place to play. Give me the Ducks. The Ducks. All right, back over. Now, Washington coming off a bye. Poor Indiana. They're going to get smacked. Wrong place, wrong time, but unfortunately. Back. Week 9. Week 10. Oregon beating Michigan in the Big House. Talked about this. I think it's going to be too much for Michigan to handle. Oregon is just as physical. They got a more established quarterback. And they have a better coach. It's just that simple. Again, if this game were to happen where Sharon Moore has a few more years of experience, then I'd probably go the other way. But right now, cards are on Oregon side. And then you have Washington and USC. Lincoln Riley, I believe, is one of the most overrated coaches in college football today. His defense is more than questionable several times. This is probably going to be the NBC night game, if not the 3:30 TBS game. But either way, I'm taking the Huskies to beat USC, and the only question is it going to be close? Maybe. Don't know. All right, back over to the Ducks. It's Maryland, bruh. What do you want me to say? They're in Maryland's rebuilding. They do have a good coach, but it's Maryland. How much can you do? Back over to Washington. Penn State on the road in State College. And I do believe to Penn State schedule. Okay, no, where'd they go? There they are. To Penn State, week 11. So they're coming off a loss against Ohio State, a heartbreaking loss at home. And I think that's going to be enough to rile the troops, get Penn State back in their winning ways, and for James Franklin to try to prove that he belongs as the head football coach of the Penn State Nittany Lions. All right, back over to Oregon. Oregon, Wisconsin, in Camp Randall. Tyler Van Dyke. Good Lord. I can't believe I just did that. Anyway, moving on. Tyler Van Dyke and Oregon in Camp Randall. That is a atmosphere Oregon I don't think is prepared for. Luke Fickell is a great coach. He's a quarterback whisperer. He's going to get everything he can out of Van Dyke. Give me the Badgers in an upset over the Ducks. Now, over to Washington, where you have Washington and UCLA. Again, like I said with Oregon, UCLA is a mess. Chip Kelly's gone. Not interested. Give me Washington, and it's not going to be very cool. Then you got the bye week, week 13 for the Huskies and the Ducks, giving us the very first year-end war between the Oregon Ducks and the Washington Huskies. It is in Eugene, Oregon, and I think that could very well be the difference. Give me the Ducks in a super close battle. This is going to be a tit for tat. Oregon, they are pissed about what happened last year in both games. I cannot see Dan Lanning losing 3 straight to Washington, especially now that Kalen DeBoer is gone. And this is not a knock against Jed Fish. Once he gets all of his players in, probably next year, then Washington will be at home next year in this game. Next year, we can talk. But Oregon, I think, gets the slight edge over Washington. Nonetheless, going to be one of the great games of the year. Undoubtedly going to be the NBC night game, since that game, the noon kickoff, is going to be reserved for Ohio State, Michigan. It'll be a great nightcap to a great weekend of college football that is rivalry weekend. And that will essentially put Ohio State and Oregon against each other in the Big Ten championship game. As of now, it could change. Who knows? But I got Oregon at 11-1, Washington at 8-4, 5-4 in the conference, and there you have it. So next rivalry we'll do. Okay, I'm a little bit disappointed. I was kind of hoping to do like a Penn State, Wisconsin, or we'll do Nebraska, Iowa next. That'll be a fun. That will be fun one. Actually, no, we're gonna move to the SEC. We're gonna move to the SEC. We'll do Georgia, Tennessee next. I don't know. Just keep your eyes on the lookout. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you catch all of these wacky, fun videos where I potentially making a complete and total fool of myself. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.